if you're looking to have your social media engagement look like this, 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 or this, but currently it looks like this, 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 or this, then this is the video for you. I'm gonna break it down step by step and show you exactly how you can create that transformation so that ultimately you can reach more people, build your community, and create the impact that you're meant to create. Now, before we actually dive into tactics, it's super important to understand that today social media is interest-based. It's not follower-based. And what that means for you is amazing, because prior to this change, what it was like was, hey, I've got these amount of followers. Your content is primarily going to be shown to those followers, which meant that if you were a new creator or someone who didn't have a large follower base, then it would be more difficult than it is today to actually get your content seen by those who would be interested in it. This is also great for people who have a following now, and let's say they want to shift and start sharing about different topics or maybe reach a new audience. They still can do that with a lot greater ease than they could before. So remember, it's interest-based. It doesn't matter if you have 1 follower, 10 followers, 100, 100,000, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a really great chance at getting their content seen today. So don't let yourself be discouraged if you don't currently have an audience, or if you have an audience and it's not the audience that you now want to serve. Now, the first thing we need to think about is, how do we actually get someone to stop and consume our content whenever they're scrolling? And when we think about this, let's consider the state of mind that most of us are in whenever we are scrolling on our phones. We are sitting on the couch. We are waiting in line to check out. We are at the gym on the treadmill. We are just taking a moment before bed. And there's so many thoughts often that are going through our heads whenever we're doing that, that we really need something to pull us out of that trance that we're in and get us to actually give someone our attention. And for this to happen, there needs to be a strong hook. There are actually 2 pieces that go into this hook. There's a visual element and there's a written element. So first, let's talk about the visual element. And I'm going to show you an example of a video here. And as you can see, there's a visual element. There is me slurping a drink on screen to get someone to be like, okay, what's coming next? Your visual element, it could be movement. It could be you like sitting down in a chair. It could be you picking up your phone, so the angle comes up really interesting. It could be you spinning around really fast. It could be you going like this at the camera. It could be anything that is going to get someone to be like visually, whoa, okay, what is going on? There's also people that will use like a whiteboard or something like that. There's a lot of examples that you can find of a visual hook that gets someone to be like, okay, what is happening? Now, for the written piece, I'm also going to pull back up that same video I just showed you here. And I have a written text on it that says, are we doomed? Are we doomed? It's like, okay, are we doomed because why? What's going to happen? You want to think, how can I use text to evoke curiosity to get someone to invest in consuming this piece of content? Now, the hook does not have to be clickbaity. It does not have to be misleading, but it does have to get someone to go like, should I read on? Should I continue the story? Should I keep watching? And a good hook gets people to say, yes, I should. So rather than, hey, here are X ways to save on taxes, it might be like, here are the 3 things we did to help our client save this amount on taxes. That's very specific and get someone to be like, okay, how did they do it? I want to know. That is how you create a strong hook to get people pulled in and to keep engaging and consuming your content. So now once we got them pulled into it, what is next? The next thing is all about, how can I build a connection with the other person? So I got them pulled into my story, and now how can I build that connection? So am I going to make them feel inspired? Am I going to motivate them? Am I going to make them feel like they learned something because I educated them? How can I create some sort of connection where that person's like, okay, this is a good thought to consider. This is a good strategy to implement. This is something that makes me better in some way after consuming it, even if it was just to entertain them. The biggest mistake firms make is trying to think about their content as a path from just content to sales. Content to sales. That ultimately hurts your engagement more than anything. And think of it this way, because people are not on social media to see some sort of advertisement, if you did a post that we help firms improve profitability, if you did that, versus if you did a post where you had an appropriate hook and you pulled people in and you shared the story about how a business increased revenue, but they still had low profitability, and you took them through how you helped them maybe eliminate some products that weren't as profitable and restructure things so that now maybe their revenue actually went down, but they're more profitable, and you took someone through that story. If I am a business owner and I keep seeing my revenue go up and my profits not go up, or maybe I look at my bank, we know cash isn't the same as profits, but I look at my bank and I'm like, why is my revenue going up, but my bank account doesn't tell the same story, my P&L doesn't tell the same story? You have me interested because I am experiencing those feelings that you're going to share in your story. You're not just going to add facts, because the story has feelings, not just facts. That's the goal. So think about the stories you have to share and how you have made changes for your clients. Think about your own life. What's changed for you? What's going on with you? And that's something that's really important, is people are buying from people that they know, they like, and they trust. So sharing client stories can help build the know, like, and trust, definitely the trust, but also think about where you can share you. If I like you, I have to know you first. So share your stories as well. What's going on in your life? Why did you start your firm? Why are you on this journey? What is it about you that has gotten you to this point? Why are you doing what you do? All of those are going to help you build the know, like, and trust. And because you have that hook at the beginning, and because social media is interest-based, you can reach a lot of people without a big following. Now let's go on to the next step. We then want to experiment with a bunch of different topics and ideas so that we can figure out, okay, what does my audience that I have and my audience that I'm looking to build and reach, what do they like? And once I find one, I want to take that same concept and I want to rework it. So I could look at doing different formats. So I'll pop up on the screen here. I did just a single post talking about why people follow you. People liked that post. It was just a photo of me with text. So what I did was then I filmed a video that you can see here. Same post, same concept. I just did a video. And then I also created a carousel. Same post right here, same idea, concept, but it's just a swipe through. So you can take the same post, the same idea, and rework its formats. That's one thought. Or you can also test with new hooks on it, new spins, add a different story to go with the post. So find what your audience likes and then double down on it and create multiple versions in multiple formats of that content. And simultaneously, you're also experimenting with new content, right? So it's just an iterative process where you're like, hey, this one worked. I'm going to create a lot of different formats of it. And I'm going to continue to experiment with new topics, new formats on new ideas. So once I find one that hits, I'll also keep running it through that chain. Again, you aren't going to know what your audience likes if you don't keep experimenting along the way. And once you find one, let's drill into it. Something to consider here is Caleb Ralston talked about this recently. He talked about how with clips, when you're pulling them from long forms, sometimes that clip, it has a really good idea, but it's not presented in the right way. And I thought that this was really interesting how he shared, like, you can find really good ideas from long form clips, but that doesn't mean that you aren't going to need to recreate them and repackage them in a way that actually lands better. So this idea of just taking long form and pulling shorts, like, yeah, that can work, but sometimes you may need to take that short and actually just recreate it on your own. So keep this in mind if you are someone that's looking to create long form content and pull your short form content from it. We do that for a lot of our clients. Now, the final piece of this is if you find a piece of content that works well, and you want to take that piece of content, in addition to what you're doing by recreating it, repurposing it, doubling down on different angles, hooks, formats, you can take that piece of content and you can amplify it with paid ads. It is not this mindset of organic or paid. It's both. They work together. We have clients that have never touched paid ads and they get amazing results, but there are also some people who are like, hey, I want to do this faster, or I have this piece of content that went viral. People really like it. Let's supercharge it. Let's put some dollars behind it. And so if you run paid ads to content, that is a great way to reach more people, to build your following, and especially on platforms like Instagram, there are different ads you can do. One can just be to get people to follow you. One can be to get people to DM you. One can be to get people to sign up on a lead form. There's different ads, different goals that you can implement based upon your goals that you want to achieve to help your content get not only in front of the right people, but to get those people to take a specific action. And that's where having a cohesive social media strategy can be really helpful. So it's like, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's my ultimate goal. How do we get there? Is it just organic? Is it doing some paid? What's it look like? A social media strategist can help you with that. And so if you are looking for that help, that support, then let me know by going to leaders-online.com. You can schedule a call, and then myself or a team member will have a quick chat to see if we're a good fit to help you reach your goals. And with that, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what your biggest takeaway was, and be sure to like the video before you click off and subscribe so you don't miss any videos with myself, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.